Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out Don't Sleep on... sorry, I dozed off right there. We're going to be saying Don't Sleep on Diarmuid? I don't know who this is. Must not be important. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know he's strong. It's just funny to make fun of him.
It would be an understatement to say that this is long overdue. It's Mr. Steal Your Girl, Diarmuid in the flesh. You gotta show him how you coming.
More like Mr. Steal Your Arm.
Just the sheer force behind his strikes was enough to cause shockwaves when he was going against Saber. When it comes to his speed, his A+ agility had him moving with 2 spears at one time with no difficulty. Despite being touted as one of the strongest servants in the war, he had Saber backtracking several times just from him overwhelming her with pure skill. There was one part of the fight where it got so bad.
My thing is, right, with fighting Saber, it's so like volatile how she performs. That's one of like one of the frustrations I have with her character. Especially when she fought Kuzuki. Kuzuki was giving her the business. He caught her sword. He freaking karate chopped her back in the neck. Would you consider him to be on par with Artoria and Diarmuid? Would you consider him? No. But the fact of the matter is, he probably gave her more of the business than Diarmuid did. That's what I'm saying. Like fighting Artoria feat is so volatile for me personally. I don't know. But yes, he is very strong. Yes, obviously. We all know this. And that A+ agility speed is pretty cool.
That she had to go purely on the defensive. When they were up against Jill the Ray, you had him easily mince through Jill's monsters and save Saber on top of that. Even on one of his missed attacks, you can still see he has enough power to cut straight through metal. Even though Lancelot was wielding a metal pole that was being reinforced by his phantasm, Diarmuid just cut it straight in half, then taunted Lancelot by telling him to stop playing around. He landed a vicious blow on Saber that tossed her to the side, forcing Irisville to heal her. When Lancelot was taking over the F-15 jet, Diarmuid tactfully went into his spiritual form and then appeared on top of the jet to catch up with him.
Yep.
He has the range and the accuracy to snipe with his spears, mentioning if he even saw Jill's spellbook in the river fight, he'd get rid of it immediately. Based on Geronimo's analysis in the Chapter 5 singularity, he's at least on par with Theon and Beowulf. He's also better than Nero, Elizabeth, Geronimo, Billy, and Robin.
Geronimo?
If we're going by that chapter, we've seen him withstand hits from Saber that started to create craters in the ground. When they were up against Jill, he was able to withstand the poison that was surrounding them in the air. Keep in mind that this poison was strong enough to corrode human lungs immediately. When he saved Caniff, he jumped 3 stories from the Ironsburn 3rd floor and came out unscathed. We've seen him casually dive headfirst into the city off of a skyscraper. Don't try this in your spare time. He still had the capacity to curse everybody at the scene, despite being forcibly pierced by his own spear and without battle.
I mean, but Ku did the same thing, but also murdered Kire, so he has that. All right, I'm not gonna make Ku comparisons. All right, I'm not gonna do that.
Continuation. Irisville herself has admitted to the fact that when he fought against Saber, at a point they were going so fast that she couldn't even see them. She could only feel their shockwaves. His technique with his spear allows him to spin it like a windmill. This helped him stop any incoming attacks from Jill's monsters. With both of his spears, he was able to deflect multiple bullets that Kurisugu shot at Caniff with his calico with ease. In the America Singularity, he was able to dodge a close range shot from Nightingale with no problem. In that same singularity, he was able to dodge multiple close range shots from Billy the Kid, who's a gun expert.
Billy the Kid? He sounds broken, I'm not gonna lie.
Diarmuid still darted him across the field. The Fate Zero novel even tells us that when he was going against Saber, at a point they were both far beyond Mach speed and nearing the speed of light in terms of reactions. Even after Caniff used one of his command spells on him, Diarmuid was still able to bypass this and attack Saber. When Iskander tried to ambush them with his Gordius Will Phantasm, Diarmuid was still able to get out the way at the last second.
That's that's the thing, right? With anime like feats, you have to put in perspective that anime slows stuff down to where we can see it. Obviously, if they were moving at Mach speed and we wouldn't be able to see it, that wouldn't make for a good anime because you wouldn't be able to see them. But they slow things down and like kind of waters the feet down like metrically so we can see what's going on. So like right when like Iskandar was like going the chariot, he was probably going like freaking Omega Mach speed right there. But again, slowing things down for the anime and him jumping out of the way, that's in of itself is actually very impressive. But in the anime, it looks like he just jumped out of the way.
Bypass this and attack Saber. When Iskander tried to ambush them with his Gordius,
He was probably moving
phantasm,
blitzing
was
fast.
Still able to get out the way at the last second. With the help of his Eye of the Mind, he was able to determine who Saber was from the time that he met her. Once again, by using this skill, he was able to determine Jill's location and the fact that he had set up camp by the river.
So he has a radar. That's actually kind of broken. And he has a radar, and he has like a identifier skill. So he was able to see who she was. Interesting.
Through his heightened hearing, he was able to sense a nearby car when Kanev couldn't make out anything. Due to the potency of his love spot, he's forever cursed to have a charm effect on women. This is also one of his skills. Using this same skill, he was able to snatch up Fion's wife in his past, Princess Grain. This doesn't even include the fact that he charmed Kanev's wife to be Sola. In his first fight, he also confirmed that this did have an effect on Saber and Irisville. If you fall victim to his love spot, there's a chance that he can emphasize it even more the longer you're with him. We saw this with Sola from the Einsburn consultation room. We know this works on women of all ages. We saw this.
Don't have him go to a elementary school.
This in use against a young tiger who admitted that just by looking at him made her heart race. In FGO, we saw this work against Mash, despite her being a demi-servant. Even though she tried to brush it off like nothing was happening, her heart rate also increased.
I will say it's probably good that he of all people has that skill, because imagine if someone else got that skill. Hey, they would not. Imagine if Shinji had that skill.
And her temperature as well.
That's all I'm saying.
Just from being in his presence. You have his skill Night Strategy at B rank, which increases the likelihood that his enemy will fail their attacks. The novel tells us that he's fought against multiple mythical beasts on his own, 11 being the minimum, and one of them was Fion's caretaker. Saber mentioned the fact that he's able to make his presence known for at least 100 meters away before their battle. Before they even made contact with each other, his battle against Saber resulted in the collapse.
Is it just me or does Bro sound a little bit tired? He sounded a little bit tired. Maybe he's sleeping on Diarmuid too, bro. You better wake up.
They even made contact with each other. His battle against Saber resulted in the collapse of 2 storehouses. The novel tells us that Saber tried to strike him 30 times and she still wasn't able to land a hit on him once. This is before her first hit. Saber was shot.
Yeah, I will say, I think as much as I love the Fate Zero adaptation by Ufotable, I think one from the way the anime portrayed it, the fight was kind of anticlimactic. At least from the Saber versus Diarmuid fight, it just looked like a regular fight, right? But I think it loses a lot of that nuance and perspective on just how crazy that fight was and just how like insane high scale that these characters are, because the fight anime it looked like they were just like fighting with weapons. It didn't look anything too crazy. I don't know if that's the fault of the anime, or I don't know if that's the fault of Ufotable, or just the fault of just how anime is portrayed in general, but I don't know. Yeah, the fact that it is legitimately impressive how all their feats and stuff.
How good he was with both his spears, saying that he should at least be impaired by the fake one, but this wasn't the case. The novel also tells us that he stood with at least equal footing to Artoria in their first match. Despite Saber having an invisible cloak on her sword, Diarmuid was still able to determine its length, which made going against him even more difficult as the fight progressed. In the middle of their fight, you have the infamous scene where he tricked Artoria Artoria into attacking him, and then quickly lifted his other spear out the ground at the last second when Diarmuid was working alongside Saber. The story tells us that even though they had took down 500 of Jill's monsters, Diarmuid showed no signs of being tired whatsoever. Thanks to the fact of them both being highly skilled, Diarmuid was able to etch Saber's fighting style in.
Here's one thing that I noticed that I noticed with like a flaw with how the story did Diarmuid. You noticed how most of the feats right now are from 2 encounters. One was Saber and one with when he was fighting with Saber against Gillis. Bro needed more fights, bro. Like bro has sauce. He has sauce. He just hasn't had enough time to cook. You know what I'm saying?
Them both being highly skilled, Diarmuid was able to etch Saber's fighting style into his mind just from seeing it and respond with the best option from just his awareness. When they were up against Jill, him and Saber tactfully used their skills together and used Saber's air vacuum to launch Diarmuid with more speed.
Damn, got cake. Yo, Diarmuid got cake. Hold on. Is that his love spot? I'm just kidding.
Damaged Jill's phantasm by surprise. During his fight with Saber, we're told that just watching them clash together would be enough to give the average person a heart attack. The story points out
them fight.
the fact that his second fight with Saber was less about it being a fight and more so about it being a contest in skill. It was more like a jousting match, if anything. Midway into the fight,
I will say that Diarmuid has a really good technical skill with like spear technique and all that. He probably got more like technical skill than other lancers, but yeah.
Diarmuid did start to realize that Saber was holding back despite the fact that she was already using one hand, that her entire sword play itself had started to change. In FGO, he tells us that he is the best spearman in the Knights of Fianna. This includes Fionn. Several times throughout Fate, we've seen that Diarmuid has great eyesight, Fionn himself comparing his eyesight to that of a hawk.
Dang, he could probably be an archer.
With Nasu, it was revealed that if Ku Cullen and Diarmuid went against each other in a 1v1, Diarmuid would be the one to come out on top. Nasu himself admitting that Diarmuid is stronger by default. If the fight took place in...
I don't know if by default, right? Because you have to take into account their masters. Diarmuid's master is like a freaking well-renowned mage from a prestigious family, so he already has like a big advantage over Ku.
Ireland, Ku would edge Diarmuid out only because of his fame boost. For his first fan...
No, I still think, like, on paper, like, Ku probably has the better base kit than Diarmuid. Because Diarmuid's Noble Phantasm is great, but not like... It's not like a Gaybulg, right? It's not like that. So, you have to take into account the masters, bro.
You have Gaydir. This is his Crimson Spear. It allows him to completely nullify the magical energy of anything it touches, mainly magical defense. This is why Saber decided to take off her armor against him, because it would have been useless at that point anyway. The issue with this is that it was also able to work on Saber's invisible air, so the flow of her air was also disrupted just by using his ability. Another thing he has access to is as long as he keeps the spear wrapped, he can hide the seething amount of magical energy behind it. Using this same spear, he was able to completely bypass Saber's armor and land a fierce hit to her side. He was also able to disrupt Lancelot's phantasm when he took over the fighter jet. This caused him to completely detach from the jet. Then you have his yellow spear, Gaybulg, which allows him to land unhealable wounds on his target. This negated Artoria's ability to heal or get healed by somebody else, as long as it was from the spear, and the effect will last all the way until Diarmuid is gone, or he breaks the curse himself. Later on in the story, we see him sacrifice this spear and lift her curse in order for them to fight Jill. In FGO, he went head to head with a swordsman with better skills than Yagyu, even though Yagyu himself is said to be a sword master. In his saber form, we've seen him wrestle with renowned fighters like Ashwatthama. Really gotta say it's a shame of the lack of involvement and the lack of exploration of his character. This man is out here putting King Arthur on their back. No fancy phantasms, no familiars, no random portals jumping out of the sky, just pure skill and finesse.
He got skill and finesse. Again, he just said it. He needed more time to cook.
Other servants may have something flashier, but when you come back down to earth, rest assured Diarmuid.
All right, what do you think his rank is? It's gonna be A, because he says that he's stronger than Ku in his video, so he's probably gonna get an A.
Will be there to give you a good old-fashioned ass whooping. I gotta give this man at least a
Wait, you gave Ku an A. What is this hypocrisy? What is this hypocrisy?
B rank. Anything lower than that would be insulting.
What is that? Again, context matters. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I would put like a high B, low A probably. Although he doesn't do like high, low. He just gives letters. So yeah. But he's strong. He's a strong guy. He got skill. He got talent. He got the technique. Everyone knows that the technique is down. But like, I think where people like start to compare him to other servants and kind of see him in a lesser light is with his attack potency, right? Because again, his stick is his agility, his technique, his superior prowess with the spear and other weapons he may have. But when you compare it to like Karna's Noble Phantasm and how much damage they do, when you compare it to Gable, people like kind of see him in a less of a light. But he still got sauce, man. He still got a lot of sauce to him. Again, I wish we had more screen time. But let me see the comments. I am curious to see what the comments say. The first Lancer that ought to be utterly screwed by plot. He might be the servant who gets done dirtiest. This might be no. Karna's got done dirtiest. Karna 100% got done the dirtiest, bro. I watched that Karna fight against Sieg and Astolfo, and my God, I have never seen such egregious plot armor before against a Lancer class servant than Karna right in that episode, bro. Oh my gosh. Nah, the one who got dirtiest was easily Karna. But let me see. Diarmuid is honestly the only character in Fate I've hated for literally zero reason when it comes down to his tantrum, when really I can't believe you blame dude for being. Yeah, no, I would be salty too. Bro got done dirty. Obviously he got done dirty, but saying he got done the dirtiest, no, that's not right. It's saying that Lord, the strongest weapons are Molten and Gayderg, sword and spear respectively, but his Lancer spear origin his Gay. Okay. He's never truly had a strongest. I feel like that's the case with a lot of servants. I feel like that's the case with a lot of servants. Like, yeah, that's why people say that their real forms are actually mostly stronger than their servant forms, because their servant forms only get like half their story, right? Because like Hercules, I mean, he's more than just a berserker. He can be an archer. He can probably be a caster. I don't know. He has a lot of stuff to him, but when you delegate someone to a heroic class, they only can use stuff like pertaining to that particular class. So yeah, being a servant low key is a nerf, to be honest, for a lot of them. He should have had at least an anti-army noble. This is what I'm saying right here, right? The attack potency, anti-army noble. He don't got that. That's what I'm saying. 1v1, he's good, but like if you face him against like a freaking like a 100,000 army men, I don't know, but yeah, he should have. I like his fighting style using two spears. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I love duels. I love dual wielding. When I played Skyrim, I was always the dual wield dude. I always had the sword on the right hand, dagger on the left hand, and I would just do the. That's what I would do. That would be my ideal attack strategy. But I digress. Bro got a lot of sauce. I just needed to see more of that in the story, man. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Diarmuid in the comments below. Let me know what other stuff you want me to do. I was thinking of maybe doing Iskandar next, because he's one of my favorite servants just in general. And I'm curious to see how he tackles his servant character and what grade he would give him. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.